My name's Nick De Blocq. I am the CEO of Kinetiko Energy. The end of next month will describe my 34th year in the oil and gas industry globally. I have been to over 70 countries, 33 in Africa. Most of my time has been with Schlumberger. My onshore gas experience comes mainly out of the sub-region of Southern Africa and Mozambique. Sasol has been producing gas from the Pondicherry area for about 30 years now. I was instrumental in the early days of blogging and testing those fields, which became productive. I am now very excited, delighted to be running Kinetiko Energy. The scale of what we have in South Africa is absolutely world-class, and this is the story I've come to Australia to tell. With a 2C of 4.9 TCF, we're possibly in the top 10 to 15 percentile on the planet for onshore gas right now in terms of a resource. The energy need in South Africa is absolutely huge. You know, we like to think that we're part of a substantial solution towards the energy crisis. Our plans involve a four-pillared approach towards production, one being gas to power, which is obvious. The LNG, midstream and downstream players are not only knocking on my door, they're breaking it down right now to get at our gas. We have chemical derivatives as a potential. Somebody wants to do urea and ammonia from our gas. As you'll know, the global fertilizer industry has been knocked completely sideways. 70% of it came out of Ukraine, Russia. That becomes a challenge. And then there's gas to pipeline. You know, Sasol in Secunda, which is on the border of one of our blocks, 272, have a pipeline by which they feed thermal industry to the south and to the KwaZulu-Natal coast. And Sasol are going to increasingly use their own gas from a depleting field in Mozambique. And the off-takers down the line have already started to contact me about how we can help to support their gas needs. On the back of our recent successful drilling as we start a Korhan well cluster in support of gas to power, what we have left to do, hopefully before the end of this year, is another 7 boreholes. They'll all be core wells. We are essentially an exploration company heading towards a productive environment. And we have 3 core holes to do in the northern block 272, the southern block 270. But more excitingly, we're actually spudding this week a core hole within about 4 or 5 kilometers of the Majuba power station, right in the middle of 271. Early next year, we intend to reapproach the drilling of perm test wells. We have approved sites, 5 of them around Amersfoort, to extend the Korhan cluster for more gas to power, and 5 more exploratory in nature around the Volksrust area of southern block 271. Mpumalanga is a province of South Africa of about 5 million people. 52% unemployed. The ability of a development of the scale of which we're planning can make a substantial difference to the lives of so many people in that province. We have recently signed an agreement with Sproul to evolve our resource certification into our maiden reserves. This is a very exciting step. On the back of our gas to power agreement with our partners Vitomi, who are bringing a generator to the field, whereby we intend to put Korhan gas into the generator and link it up to the local grid on the farm. This represents but a first step. To be able to show at least a proof of concept, we can do this with 3 or 4 wells. What can we do with 300 or 400? What can we do with 3,000 or 4,000? It becomes very, very exciting in a scalable concept. South Africa has an unfortunate dependence on coal. The government has had to become a lot more gas positive, a lot more gas centric, and their confidence in what we are doing is characterized in the agreement that we have with their investment body, which is the Industrial Development Corporation. We have already signed main shareholders agreements with them, and we are very, very close to a finish line whereby they participate in an initial 20 wells and have the ability to participate again in another 60 or 80. It's an extremely exciting place to be. I have 2 hats. I wear a gasman's hat and I wear an environmentalist's hat. And as long as you're doing one right, the other is never in conflict. We do things right. We have a very, very good environmental advisor in the form of SLR, and they keep us honest. They audit us regularly. They report directly to the Petroleum Agency of South Africa, the regulator. I believe implicitly in what they're doing. I will never do it wrong. In the field, we are not there to pollute. We are not there to destroy agriculture. It coexists with what we do, absolutely hand in glove. We are not a fracking company. Our geology is shallow sandstones, not deep shales. Our geology doesn't allow for fracking. That is not a fear that anybody should have. Our agreements with the landowners all contain a list of environmental obligations, and we keep every one of them. Naturally, I've spoken about our support for the people of Mpumalanga. I believe in procurement as local as possible. We will use plant from farmers. We will use gravel from the farm that we're working on. and we will pay for all of this naturally. Services from local communities, whatever it is, security, supplies, commodities, we will do that locally every time we can. I can't think of a more exciting place to be right now than in the starting blocks of a project that can substantially change the face of our energy in South Africa in a cleaner way. I'm delighted to be out there on a green ticket, helping the country to get where it needs to be.